This is Channel Attitude. Your voice, your right, your freedom.
Hello everyone and welcome to the show where after the collision we sift through.
This is for you, Mongo. The Wreckage. Chicago.
Yeah, that's why I smiled how you did that. But anyway, I am your host Jimmy T. That is the best in the world. My co-host Jamie the Vet Williams, and you're watching and listening live on Hammy Media Group's YouTube channel and of course channelattitude.com after the fact. Vet, how are you, my man? How's things? And what a wacky, weird week it's been in pro wrestling, right?
What else is new?
You tell me. I mean, there's only, it seems like there's some power struggles. There's no shows with Lex Luger, rather doing, what's it called? WrestleCade or something like that? Not WrestleCade. What's it called? I forgot what it's called. But anyway, Wrestle something, where he rather sign up with stuff, you know, get an extra payday, than turn up at WrestleMania with all the other Hall of Famers, if you know what I mean. You know how they announce everyone. So he didn't turn up. But more importantly, RIP to Steve Mongo McMichael, though, man, because say what you want about him. I mean, dude, I thoroughly enjoyed him back when I was watching WCW, especially Nitro. I remember him at WrestleMania 11, though, there, if I remember correctly. Wasn't he part of the Lawrence Taylor sort of crew?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and then after that, I saw him on Nitro with his little dog. I forgot what the dog was named, though. Do you remember the dog's name?
Oh, that's a question for Stat Boy, because I forget.
Stat Boy, you're in the house. Tell us what Mongo's little dog's name was. But anyway, Vet.
Yeah, let's cut this music.
Yeah, I was about to cut right now. He's the Wreckage. But yeah, Vet. What are some of your thoughts on Mongo, man? It sucks that he was battling ALS, I think it's called, where it's a muscle thing, I believe, where it just deteriorates all your muscles. But what's even worse, I thought it was Pepe too, actually, Labra. Thank you. I was thinking Pepe, but then I'm thinking, that was the name of a WWE dog, if I remember. But anyway.
That was Pepper. Al Snow's Chihuahua.
Al Snow's, and didn't that get eaten, if I remember?
Allegedly,
if you know what I mean. But anyway, what's some of your thoughts about Steve Mongo McMichael, man? Because he was fun at the time. He was also part of the Horsemen, if you want to say he was, but he was officially. And he was originally with Deborah McMichael, if you remember. But yeah, any thoughts on Mongo, man?
Yeah, he was kind of a big part of early Nitro.
Absolutely.
Like, from the announce desk to, just being an active wrestler, and then, of course, the heel turn. Famously, I remember, I never, even to this day, like, me and my brother still sometimes do the Kevin Green, Mongo, what are you doing?
Kevin Green, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there's football players everywhere. But yeah, it was cool, man. Like, yeah, people talk about, not being great in the ring or whatever. Of course not. He's a football player. But I like that he just randomly became a full-time wrestler, just like that. Like, I kind of like that. I appreciate, the effort that he made, regardless. And I'm not just saying this because he recently passed, but I never looked at Steve McMichael with any sort of like disdain or,
No.
you know, I have a lot more for some reason I have a lot more respect for him than even guys like Bill Goldberg or whatever. Like other football players that, you know, well, first of all, I mean, I'm sorry, but Bill Goldberg is not like he was washed. You know what I mean? As an NFL player, he never
Was he
did
even
anything ever. He
He
got
wasn't
cut
that good.
probably.
Yeah.
McMichael is a Super Bowl champion, so there's at least that. You know, he actually made Pro Bowls, like he was a real football player,
Hall of Famer
and then
too
he
in the
became a
NFL.
wrestler, right?
Right.
So
yeah, absolutely. And he's an NFL Hall of Famer vet.
right. So I just, you know, like I just respect that he respected wrestling and he gave it his best effort, even if, you know, obviously it wasn't the same as like, you know, a full-time, you know, trained from the ground up wrestler. He did his best, and he was like I said, he I have a lot of memories of him in the early Nitro days. So yeah, I never thought anything bad about Steve McMichael.
I used to love him on commentary, man. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, like you said, I never had any disdain for him at all, funny enough, which is weird. I'm glad you brought that up because I don't want to say I was indifferent to him, but I didn't hate him. But I liked him too. Like, he was always just part of Nitro. When you think of Nitro, you think of Mongo, especially those early, like 95 to 98 sort of Nitros, you know what I mean? Well, more so 95, 97 was his run, though. But I think it was better than Kevin Green, though, man. Much better.
Sure.
As a wrestler, that is.
Well, yeah, but I
thought
mean,
Kevin
Kevin
Green
Green was he just came in for a couple of spots. It wasn't like,
Wasn't he playing for the Jags at the time, too, if I remember?
so he played for the 49ers. He played for the Panthers. I believe when he was on the 49ers, they were like, you ain't doing that wrestling shit. They didn't really let him do anything. But yeah, so yeah, he was just, you know, he liked wrestling too, but he couldn't be a full-time because he was also in the middle of his, you know, amazing football career. So
Oh, absolutely. There was some great football players that got into wrestling during that time. That's for sure. But like I was saying, man, ALS is just, it's a bad thing, man, because apparently you're still sharp up here and you know what's going on, but you're just deteriorating, man.
yeah, any of those sort of diseases that cause that, it's like long-term suffering. I hate for everybody that has to go through that.
Yeah, it sucks, man. But, you know, our condolences from everybody here at HMG and Channel Attitude. You know, our condolences go out to his whole family and friends. I mean, he was something else, man. It's a shame that he was battling that for as long as he was, man, because there was a point where, you know, I was thinking to myself, well, I wonder what's happened to Mongo. And then, you know, obviously finding out what he was suffering. But even Ric Flair, I mean, a lot of people still were visiting him, man, all the way till the end, which was good to see. And he fought the good fight, man. Unfortunately, you know, he ended up losing the battle, but he was a great guy nevertheless, man. Even Deborah wrote, I saw on Facebook, she wrote a real nice thing about him too, and she said she always loved him and she misses him already. But yeah, man, that sucks. But
Can't add any more to that.
No, absolutely. But let's get into some proper news though, Vet. I know you've heard about it all week. It's almost we're reporting on it almost late in this case, but I do need to find out your opinion. I know even Ray asked you about it on the next level to an extent, but with all this Rock Triple H saga, I mean, I feel like The Rock is full of shit after what he said on Pat McAfee's show. Like, really? Like, oh yeah, we didn't need the final boss to be at WrestleMania. Get out of here, dude. You totally fucked the whole thing up, right? In my opinion. I had yesterday on the Smack Attack, I had the Professor Chabela Vera Cruz. He put it, I mean, it made sense with the way he put it. He thinks it's not as much of a big deal. I do feel like it is a big deal. So, Vet, I just want to know what's your opinion on all this? Who's talking shit here? Is there trouble in Little Tokyo, as I like saying, between Triple H and The Rock? And is there a power grab now with The Rock possibly putting his own people in creative?
So like, as you already alluded to, I don't care, but
Right.
just so I'm not giving a cop-out answer, yeah. So you just now think The Rock's full of shit?
Unfortunately,
This is what it takes.
man,
It takes his appearance on Pat McAfee. No, I know you've
No.
obviously been thinking this for a while, right? But
No, look. I've always been a rock mark, right? But now that I think about it, I don't want to hate the guy, bro. Because I've
you don't
always
have
been
to
a
hate
big
him.
fan.
It's
I
not
know,
worth.
look.
Look, he's not worth hating because
Right,
this
not
is
like
silly.
that, that's
All this
strong
is
words.
silly, and
Right.
it doesn't matter. It's wrestling, and it doesn't matter. So it's not worth hating a guy. You can be disappointed. You could be a little frustrated, but none of us know The Rock. And so
Right. It's
it
true.
doesn't matter to us. Like, we can't be taking this that seriously. You saw the thing with Dave LaGreca, right? You know?
Oh God. Right. Yeah. I
Right.
did.
What a joke. I hate even his even just saying that name feels like razor blades in my mouth.
Yeah, I know.
To have to
Oh,
acknowledge
that's
that he exists. But it's just the Rock acknowledged that he exists, having to tell him
It's
like, hey, you
crazy.
know this is all a work, right?
Well,
It's
he
just
answered
this
the question right there, right?
right. But this is what are we talking about? We're talking about The Rock's full of shit as opposed to Triple H, who's also full of shit. And like
Fair
basically every carny wrestler is full of shit. Like everybody's full of
That's their
shit.
job. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No,
a
you're
it's a
right.
grift. It's
you're right.
it's 100-and-some-year-old grift. Like, who are we kidding?
right.
It's always been their job to, to lie and spin and whatever. So, here's the thing. I do think that because we don't know so much, that leads our imaginations to run wild, brother. You know, our 24-inch imaginations are running wild.
24-inch imagination. Brother.
We're sitting here trying to make stuff up. Okay. I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to explain it. You'll just have to trust me. And maybe maybe down the road, I'll be able to explain it. I just saw some footage recently as the Netflix debut, right? Of Rock and Triple H hugging and kissing each other.
I actually saw that too, funny enough.
So if you don't have to do that to people that you don't like. You don't have to kiss another man if you don't like them. So
True.
I think the issue between them is overblown because the Marks are thinking about the past and wrestling rivalries and things like that. You can get along with somebody and be frustrated. Do we do a show every week, Jimmy, you and me?
Yes.
Do I call you out and bust your balls all the time when you disappoint me?
Absolutely.
Does that mean I don't want to do the show with you anymore, or
No,
that
of
I'm going to
course
try to
not.
get you kicked off of something?
No. I never take it like that.
So I can see Triple H being in a position where he's just like, Dwayne, you're killing me or whatever. But that's just how it is. Like, that's the relationship. Doesn't mean they hate each other. Doesn't mean The Rock is ready to replace Triple H.
Right.
I think
No, I don't
people are
think
just
that.
looking way, way, way too far into this as far as that goes. Doesn't mean there's not some complications. Doesn't mean there's not frustrations. Doesn't mean they don't hate each other, because I don't know that either. I'm just
No, I don't
saying.
think they hate each other. That's a strong word, man.
Yeah, I just don't. I just think that because there's so much we still don't know, we tend to like try to put the pieces together ourselves. And there's nothing worse than when you see wrestling marks trying to come up with stuff on their own. It's why they're marks and they're not in the business, right? Because it's always bad. So I don't know, man. That's what I think about it. It is not much, but there's a little extra food for thought for anybody that does like to spend any of their free time thinking about bullshit like this.
Fair enough. That leads me to the next question that for some reason no one's really spoken about. But what do you think about this new WWE show that's coming onto Netflix soon, where they break down everything about what's going on in the back and whatnot? They're basically lifting up the veil completely by bringing out this show. But how do you feel about that?
It's something that, when I was just a fan as a teenager, that type of era when you're like older than a little kid and you want to know more because the wrestling kind of fascinates you. People like us, like you and me, and probably a lot of people listening and watching right now, wrestling just wasn't enough. We had to have more. We had to read the magazines. We had to read the sheets. We had to watch the shows like the Tough Enoughs and things to find more. We just wanted to know more. We wanted to know all about it. I mean, a show like WWE Unreal, 15-year-old me would have loved. The moment I crossed the line and became the other side of the curtain, my feeling goes from, we have to keep this as far away from everybody as possible. We have to bury this in the dirt. We have to take this to the Las Vegas desert and bury it. No one should ever see this. This is the kind of stuff that ultimately does more damage to the industry than it helps. It only helps Netflix in terms of maybe getting some people to watch. But even then, I'm not sure how much that really helps them. But what it can do is sort of everything that demystifies the mystery of pro wrestling is bad for business, because it means that you're going to be that much less invested every time it comes time to put up money, right? You're willing to spend money on stuff that you feel very passionately about. And if the WWE answers every question that you've ever had, you're going to have a lackadaisical attitude towards it. That's just a fact. There is such a thing as too much. And that's how I feel about Unreal, which is not coming out till this summer.
Right. No, it's a great answer. Prof was saying yesterday he thinks that the casuals probably wouldn't watch it, but that's what I'm worried about. I feel like you don't want to alienate the fan base, the ones that don't know all that shit. Because believe it or not, there are many fans that don't. It's a small percentage, allegedly, of fans like us and our listeners that, look into all that shit with behind the scenes stuff and whatnot. So say what you will, but I hope it just doesn't alienate anyone. But like Prof also said, he thinks it's going to be a short-term thing. He probably won't go any longer than 1 or 2 seasons. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Unless it's some runaway smash hit. But if they can't even watch the actual Raw on there, I don't think they'll watch this. And that's another thing. Talking to a variety of wrestling fans, like I interact personally in person, not on internet. I'm talking about, I talk to them with my face. Different levels of wrestling fans. Some people I know, they like wrestling, but they only like the WWE and they don't pay attention to anything else. Some people like WWE and they hear about other wrestling, but they don't really watch it. And they don't, but if you're young enough that you're into social media, sometimes you pick up on stuff here and there, but you're not really like seeking it out. Like you're not on Twitter, you're not arguing with other fans, you're not doing that kind of stuff. So you may hear some things here and there, but you're not really like that deep into it.
Right.
And some people are that into it and they really know everything and they try to find out everything. The third kind of person, that's the kind of person that's going to watch Unreal. The other two people, probably not. Even if they have Netflix, even if they already watch Raw on Netflix, they probably just don't care enough, because it's the same way if you buy a movie that you like, you might not even watch the special features on the Blu-ray because you don't care that much. You just want to watch the movie when you feel like it. Some people want to see everything about the movie and watch the special features. Right. Different kinds of people. I don't think it kind of doesn't matter from the sense that, the business has been exposed for so long. And even with recently, the way they'll just do a show and then the post press conference or whatever, they immediately, break all the kayfabe and just say bullshit like, oh yeah, we planned this or whatever. Not even giving it time to, settle down. They're just already ruining everything. But a lot of people, in fairness, don't watch that shit either. Like, you think that many people watched 4 hours of WrestleMania then just wanted to see people sit down and talk about it? A lot of them probably didn't. Or they didn't even know it was on. So, those things are bad. But not that many people are seeing it, I think. I don't know, man. It's, no matter what though, my stance is that more is not better. Like, even if, yes, the business has been exposed, at what point, like, you keep going further. It's like somebody trying to over-explain something to you that you already understood. It's like, Jimmy, 1 + 1 is 2. And you're like, okay. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. You take 1 and you take another 1 and that's 2. It's not 3. And you're like, okay, I get it. And I'm like, no, Jimmy, you don't get it. At what point are you going to start hating me? Because I will not just let it go, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No,
And that's what
sure.
they're doing. It's like, no, you don't understand how fake this is. You really got to understand this shit is so fake. Everybody likes each other. We're all a family. You don't get it. And now you're expected to pay thousands of dollars for a ringside seat to watch people that you now are sure don't hate each other? Come on.
Best in the world right here, man. For a reason. Absolutely. That was well said, Vet. And as the chat also agree, man, with how you said it.
The chat is very smart.
Absolutely. Actually, Cold-Blooded says, Cold-Blooded. He says, I love wrestling, but it physically hurts to try and watch all the extra stuff. But I'm weird. You're not weird.
He's a little weird.
Oh, he said it, not me. So just quietly. But look, man, it's all good. You don't have to watch everything. You know, I was obsessed as a kid, especially. Forget it. I mean, I was that obsessed. But it's funny, man, how wrestling in the way we all take it. And like you said, talking to different fans and how they think about it and how, you know, they look for it and whatnot. And the tribalism still. Some people just watch WWE. Others just watch AEW. But, yeah, I mean, that was well said, man. I can't put it any better than that. That was great. My last piece, though, before we get into the Wreckage proper, because no shit, I was just looking at the news. There is really no news. There's nothing like in the last couple of days, which is actually a lifesaver. But I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about Luger? You know, some people don't make it a big deal, others do. You know, he went for a payday. He made the excuse that I know he fell out of his Uber right before his induction to the Hall of Fame, but he still got up and still done his speech and whatnot. But, you know, the next day, you know, on Mania's how they usually introduce all the Hall of Famers, you know, Luger was absent, and apparently they were expecting him to turn up, but for whatever reason, he went to go and do some signings that was going on in Vegas and decided not to turn up, but made, from what I hear, the excuse that he was sore and stuff, but still went and done something else. Do you think that's a little bit, was that a little harsh on Luger's part for doing that?
No. I think that, so if we're all hearing stuff, the way I heard it was that he could have done both. It wasn't like a conflict. Okay. So like he could have planned to go to the con in the morning, because WrestleMania is obviously in the evening, right? No one's going to run a con against WrestleMania anyways. So he could have, he could have done both, and he probably either didn't feel like doing it after he did the con. Like maybe he thought he could and he didn't feel well and didn't want to do it, because if you've been at WrestleMania, it's tiring. Even if you don't do anything, it's a long day. I can attest to that. It's fucking long and boring. And if you're already in like bad physical condition, it's not the best. So I can understand how he wouldn't want to go do it after that. I mean, he got his speech and he did the important thing. They weren't really doing anything. They just come out and wave, you know, and Triple H spit some water. He doesn't really need to be there for that. They know he was there the previous night. So I don't have a problem with it. Like, Lex Luger could do what he wants. I don't know. It's fine. It doesn't matter to me.
You think WWE would be cool with it deep down?
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, it's interesting because some people think that
WWE. Are you going to induct a guy? You're going to go to all the trouble to induct a guy at the Hall of Fame and then get mad at him? No.
Oh, well. Just look at
as a company.
Right.
The whole company. We're all. What do they vote? All right. Who's mad at Lex? Raise your hand. Like, what are you talking about here? Everybody's going to have their different thoughts on it, but you know, only the people that talk to him directly really know. And I think anybody should be able to understand. This ain't the Vince McMahon's WWE anymore.
Right.
Which if it was, he wouldn't even been inducted in the Hall of Fame. So
I agree for sure.
So yeah, I think everything's cool.
Well, that's the news, folks. No shit. There is literally nothing else other than if anyone really cares. But who was it quickly? Someone's injured actually, Vet. From AEW, funny enough. Let me just see quickly. Oh, yeah. Brian Cage reportedly suffered a torn quad and not a knee injury. Big deal. I couldn't care less.
Well, that's cold-hearted, Jimmy.
I'm sorry. I'm not as cold-blooded, but you know.
Yeah.
Shout out to cold-blooded. But anyway, that was it, man. So I think it's time to put the gloves on and start sifting, because there's a bit of sifting going on here, actually, especially at the start. The na of
Oh
Dynamite.
yeah. Can't wait.
You're gonna make him say,
Yes. Yes. Just like my computer when it crashed during the Next Level Wrestling review.
Did it?
Oh, you didn't see that? Well, anyway.
I must have missed that. How long into the show did it crash?
Doesn't matter. We're at New Orleans, Louisiana for Dynamite. So you know what that means. Tony Schiavone is going to bring out a legendary figure in the wrestling business, Master P.
Pew, 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 pew. Hey, look, to be fair, as you know, the professor likes to say, the No Limit Soldiers, bro, come on. In WCW, rap is crap as well. Remember that? That was a killer feud, bro.
Yeah,
the West
killed
Texas
the company.
Rednecks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Master P's here, and he's going to introduce some people himself. He's going to introduce the Ops. So the Ops are going to come out and hang out with Master P. And then this is where the Death Riders feel like it would be a good time to attack everyone.
Oof. Right.
Yeah.
Overbooked this segment so bad, dude.
Yeah. However, you know, the Ops kicked their ass. So
in the end, ultimately, right.
Didn't work. So they had to actually, the Bucks and Okada had to come out just to save Moxley from getting choked by Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
With Master P getting a shot or two in there as he was.
That was bad, dude. The way he threw those punches was shocking. I mean, hey, look, I was a fan of Master P's. He's probably a little overrated, but to be fair, like, if you listen to some of his shit, it's a little overrated, but, you know, make him say, I liked it, part 1 and 2, mind you. I like both versions of the song. The one with Snoop is probably a little better. But, I mean, shit, hey, people underestimate, though, how rich he is. He's rich, bro.
He's rich enough to get himself a tryout for the Hornets. Remember that?
Hey, he was a good baller, dude, and I remember that. I actually remember. I believe he shot a couple of threes, too, during that tryout, dude. Hey, he can ball, man. I was shocked at the time that he could actually ball. I believe he actually played college basketball, too, and was actually, like, pretty good. So he could have had an NBA career if he actually took it a lot more serious than his rapping career, if you know what I mean. But, yeah, the Hornets, man, absolutely.
But I think everything worked out the way it was supposed to work.
Oh, no, for sure. But even when he was playing for the Hornets in that tryout, wasn't he? He was already like a big-time rapper by that point.
And old.
And old. He was 31, I think, when he went for that tryout, as a matter of fact, which is weird. But, yeah, good point. But anyway, yeah, man, like, it was cool to see him. But this whole segment of the event, I thought it was just too much.
Well, so anyway, as everybody's like trying to escape or whatever, or like the Bucks are trying to escape, but they get hit with a pincer attack because from one side you got Swerve Strickland and from the other side you got Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
The two deadliest men in wrestling. And so you know, as we look at this sort of well, I hate to use the word conglomeration of people because there's already a group called that. But as we look at this landscape of people, it looks kind of like, to me, like, even though they didn't say it, we have enough people for a blood and guts match.
No, I didn't think of that, man. Why? You're right. That's exactly what's going to happen, dude. That will happen, especially it sort of continues on. Obviously on Collision too, but we'll get to that. But, yeah, damn it. Why'd you say that?
I'm just letting you know. Just letting you guys know. Get ready for it.
It is going to happen. You're right. 100% agree with you.
All right, Renee is with the patriarchy, and Christian takes the belt from Nick Wayne, and he takes the credit from Nick Wayne, and Nick Wayne doesn't necessarily back down to him, so Christian kind of gives him the belt back, like, you've earned it.
Which is cool, I guess, you know what I mean? But what was funnier is what he said about his mum and what they got up to. And their celebration. Jesus.
Yeah, where's the AEW Unreal show to let everybody know that Christian's actually happily married and not banging?
I know, dude.
Not banging Nick Wayne's mom, not banging Britt Baker. Everything's
Thank you.
totally real. Like, it's cool. Let's just,
Where do they come up with this shit, especially the Britt Baker shit? That's why I never really reported that.
I don't know, man. So, who cares about that? Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe. Let's talk about that.
Good
Now,
match.
these are a couple of bald guys that aren't white. Mark Briscoe's kind of white.
Well, yeah.
He's white. So. He's not white presenting, but he's white.
Right.
But yeah, Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe, a nice surprise out of nowhere match. Also out of nowhere, Ricochet tries to do a dirty roll up and it gets reversed and Mark Briscoe actually wins. So I'm sure,
dude.
I'm sure just like me, you saw this match and you were like, oh, well, I know who's going to win this, right? Looks like we didn't know.
Well, yeah, that's what made it even better. I was actually quite pleasantly surprised that Mark Briscoe got the win, man. But the thing is, what bothers me is what is it going to do for him moving forward? That's the problem. Are they going to use this to propel him? Or they're probably not going to do anything? And I'm going to say the latter. They're not going to probably do anything.
Yeah, you're really not taking the a la carte approach with this. You just accept this win on its own. Don't worry about what's coming next, okay?
Fine.
Don't worry about that.
Right.
And for the record, for Kenny F. and Powers.
Oh, yes.
Here's the update.
There he is.
Everything's good. Everything's great.
I like how he's
Gary was also very pleased to see Mark Briscoe pick up a dub. So
that's awesome.
Ricochet, of course, is going to, when you get beat by such a move as a roll-up or any kind of technical pin, your only recourse is to use the deadliest move in professional wrestling, the heat back. Right. There's many ways you can modify it. You can modify a heat back. Ricochet used the chair version of the heat back here. And then he went to get the, he still has the golden scissors, Jimmy. Ricochet does. He still has them. They're always handy.
He not lost them.
And he's about to stab Mark Briscoe in the fucking face until Kevin Knight comes in to stop him.
Yeah.
And yeah. So Ricochet has to run away now. The Rock and Roll Express approve of this. They're applauding this. They're very happy that nobody was stabbed with scissors. That's not something that would have happened in their day. They don't.
Oh no.
No, they're more about classic tag team wrestling, not about scissor stabbing. So they were happy.
You don't
to see
mean
this.
Arn Anderson or Sid Vicious?
Well, that was off screen. So.
I'm just pointing it out.
All right. So Tony Schiavone is going to bring somebody out, I guess, but he gets interrupted so that Stokely Hathaway can return.
Yeah. What the hell, dude?
And he's going to bring out FTR.
He's weird, bro. I mean, where did this come from? Did I miss anything? Is there something I missed that I'm not aware of?
Nope, he's back. And he's also here. Stokely is also here to not only speak for, but he kind of sounds like me on this segment. I mean, he basically runs down how everybody in AEW has been engaging in criminal activity, but somehow FTR gets fined for almost giving Tony Schiavone a pile driver.
True.
So in one promo, he completely buries this entire creative that they've had with all these people doing all these things. And it's everything I've been saying on this show since we've been doing this show.
You're right.
Filmed crimes. Filmed crime after filmed crime after filmed crime, and everybody gets nothing but paydays, championship, opportunities, and more matches. And FTR, as much as I don't like them, did they do anything wrong? They were some of the ones that were kidnapped, and he pointed that out too.
That's true. As a matter of fact, but the only thing is, doesn't he sound familiar to you though? Drew McIntyre?
No, sorry.
To me, it's almost like a version of Drew McIntyre in some ways by, telling the truth. Like Josh says in the chat, AEW watches that Wreckage. Oh, they do. Trust me.
They're smart.
I'm telling you, dude. How many times, coincidentally or not, Vet, has shit sort of happened after what we've said? So, especially you. I don't believe in coincidences. That's all I'm saying.
Well, anyway, they're going to call in the aforementioned Rock and Roll Express. Like, come on in here, Ricky and Robert. So they come down. Like, I feel like at their seasoned age, they should already know what's coming. They probably shouldn't do this, but they get in the ring.
Talk about experience, right?
Yeah, and of course they get jumped and attacked. And the Paragon comes in to make the save, but they're too late because Ricky still got the spike pile driver, even though we all saw this coming from a mile away. So as soon as the Rock and Roll Express started making their way to the ring, if I was, Adam Cole and them, I would have already been running down because we know it's about to happen. But apparently they
didn't
too
get
busy.
the memo. Yeah. I hate that, dude. And how small did they look come running out? Seriously, they all looked skinny, dude. Like, it was weird.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
At least Daxton and Cash Cashton have actually put on a bit of. They look like they've bulked up a little bit, dude.
No, they're the same.
Even Stokely, he looks like he's put on, a few pounds. Or is it just me?
He was wearing a suit, so I don't know. So it's interesting. We got Stokely Hathaway back. I guess that's a positive for this. I don't really care about anybody else involved, but more Stokely is always good, especially when he's representing me. So take that. If I can't be there, I'll let him say what needs to be said.
Well, Liz says in the chat, Adam Cole looks yellow now like Butcher's forever. See, with Butch, it's a spray tan, I think.
The
you know what I mean?
jaundice.
But he's got something wrong with him, or he's got liver issues, dude. Either jaundice or some sort of liver issue, bro. Because usually when you got a liver issue, you turn yellow. So I don't know if he checks that out. If he's gotten it checked out, dude, do something. God damn.
Yeah, I think it's personally, I think he's probably okay as far as that goes. I don't think his liver is too damaged. I think it's more so that it's just whatever his choice of tan in a bottle is, it probably doesn't. Right, yeah. It probably fades poorly, so it goes from orange to yellow, and it doesn't look good.
Yeah, I knew deep down it was probably that too. Deep down, I like playing up on the liver thing, but. Yeah, don't use that. If it is that, don't use whatever brand he's using, man. It looks like shit.
Yeah, look, we've got all kinds of technology. We got Google. We've got AI. You can ask AI, like, what's the best tan in a bottle that will not leave you looking like the yellow bastard from Sin City. Like any of those that you could find these things out. You don't even have to ask another person, because I know it's embarrassing. Maybe you don't want to ask, one of your boys. Maybe you don't want to ask your ex.
Wow, that's true.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend this tan in a bottle. We don't want to. I understand that you don't necessarily want your business out there for everybody because it's kind of private, but you can ask the AIs. You can ask, those type of things, and you can get a good answer, a good detailed answer. So, I would think
AI is scary, bro.
Well,
I'm telling you,
not as scary as looking at Adam Cole's skin.
Well, that's true. And Stat Boy over here says, "Thank you, Dr. Sismalis." Mm-hmm. Thank you, Stat Boy.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
It's time for our next match. It's the Young Bucks versus Jetball.
Jetball.
Yeah.
God.
Well, anyway. What would you call Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey?
That's a good one. That's great. I don't know what I would call them. I haven't thought about it, but that's cool enough, I guess.
All right. Well, what did you think of this first Young Bucks match back now that they're back?
It was all right. It was fine, but it was typical Bucks, man, in many ways. I kind of enjoy now watching Speedball, though, for whatever reason. Not that I'm a big fan of his, but I just like watching what he does. It's his kicks that I love seeing, man. His kicks are something else, dude. He makes them look pretty good.
Yeah, that's just because he's kicking them as hard as he can.
If that's the case, then shit. But still, man, I didn't mind the match. But the Bucks, the one thing that I noticed with the Bucks is Matt Jackson on the juice and his brother isn't.
Maybe.
Because it feels like Matt Jackson looks friggin' like he looks a lot better than his brother does, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
But the Bucks win anyway.
Yeah, well, so Ricochet comes back out and he grabs Kevin Knight's leg. So he's getting him back for taking the scissors. And then after that, that just gives him just the amount of distraction needed for the Bucks to hit him with the BTE trigger. So once again, Kevin Knight knocked the F out and lost.
I keep looking at
and no follow-up.
Knight. I mean, that's AEW, is it not? No follow-up? That's what they do.
No, it's actually not. AEW is all follow-up. So I like it when there's no follow-up.
Oh, well, when you say follow-up, but what do you mean exactly by the follow-up? As in nothing else happened after that?
Well, like, for example, in the previous match, Ricochet loses. Right. So he immediately starts this whole angle here, right? Or whatever. So I do like when a match can just end, but at least this sort of played into, like, the last segment played into this one, because Ricochet came back to avenge his, loss to Mark Briscoe because of Well, actually, Kevin Knight had nothing to do with him losing, but he did prevent him from another filmed crime. So, he should actually be thanking Kevin Knight, but instead he cost him a match. So,
see, when you said follow-up, I was thinking like follow-up is in story follow-up, not running follow-up. But yeah.
Well, we wouldn't get an immediate follow-up anyway. No. Renee is with Tony, and I guess Queen Aminata is her next challenger. So more on that later.
Dude. How good did Aminata look? Oof.
Yeah, pretty good. You know what else looks good? Hurt Syndicate.
Oh, dude, see, this is the thing I look forward to. No shit now. With AEW every week. This is like the thing for me. The only thing that I really, really enjoy every week. And this was funny, dude.
Yeah. So they're all in the ring. MJF rolls up, literally rolls up. He comes out. He joins the guys. He gets 2 thumbs up this time. Okay. Right. So now the only one left is Bobby, and he's.
What was a Bob?
He says. Bobby gives him the thumbs down, and Max painfully says that he's sorry. Oh no, actually before he gets thumbs down, he says that he's sorry, and he offers his Corvette that he just rolled up in.
How nice
to Bobby,
that,
and
dude?
Bobby wants a look. He said, "Let's go look at it." Then they go out there, they get in the car, Bobby gets in the car, drives off, giving him the thumbs down.
That's harsh. I knew that was going to happen, but he did apologize, and it's almost like he had an anxiety attack apologizing, which is funny. But what's it going to take for MJF now to get Bobby's approval? Maybe one, stop calling him Bob. That's for starters, because that obviously is not a good thing. But other than that, what can he possibly do to win him over, you think?
Well, the next step up would be he comes in a private jet, and it just rolls into the parking lot.
Rolls into the park.
He's like, you guys can have my jet if you want. Fuck. Like maybe that. I don't know.
Because he's helped him win matches. He's done everything possible. Like, what else can he possibly do to actually, like?
I don't know. Perhaps now maybe this is thinking a little bit too hard about it, even though I just started 2 seconds ago, but here we go. What if it was I'm trying to think, how would it be important enough that they would need to do this? But it could come down to something where MJF helps Bobby Lashley win something, like a singles championship. And then it turns out that it's like he's been with the Hurt Business the whole time. They've just been playing this out like he's not joining it.
Oh my God. If that's
like
the case,
like they've been giving him thumbs down, but he's already joined from the start. They're just playing this up to try to fool somebody. But now I'm trying to think, who would it be? Who would they need to do this to?
Right.
You know?
That's why I'm just asking, because I feel like
obviously no tag team is important enough. No. So it'd have to be like somebody that MJF would need to sort of like betray a little bit, but I think that train has sailed kind of. I don't really know. I don't think whatever they do will be satisfying enough, but
whatever it takes to get MJF in. He's only going to use them as a stepping friggin' point, right? I mean, he uses every group that he's ever been with. I don't see him being part of this proper, like, if you know what I mean, but we'll see.
Well, anyways, MJF now carless goes and interrupts Renee and Hangperson, so they
my
argue again.
God. Dude, you know, you're talking about Hangman's hair. What the hell was this hairstyle, bro?
What the hell
he
is
looked
any
like
of
a
this
girl
guy?
for real. No, but for real, he looked like a bitch, like straight up.
Yeah.
Like really, I'm not kidding. That the perm, whatever was going on. Stop, please, just don't.
This is an instant. Anytime that Hangman appears on screen as an instant penis softener or vag dryer, it doesn't really do anything for anybody.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyways,
God.
you know, basically more or less the summary is that Adam Page can't hang, but he can choke. I mean, that's MJF's basic point.
He's a choker.
He didn't say that line. That's actually a line I came up with, but he should have said it.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
That's true.
So anyways, a random Brody King and Will Ospreay take on Konosuke Takeshita and Josh Alexander.
Why? I didn't realize, but is Ospreay changed a little bit to you? Does he look
How
bigger?
so?
And he looks bigger suddenly to me. His hair's getting longer, beard's growing longer. He's got his tan on, like he's trying to look all pretty for All In. It feels
he's trying
like.
to get there, right?
I'm telling you, bro. Yes, I'm telling you now. He's already preparing himself in every way, and you can see it by how happy he looks, dude. He's overly happy all the time in every week. It just feels like he's just so happy, you know, and good on him, whatever. But every time, you know, when you first said that they're pitching him to be the guy, every week that I see him, it feels that way even more and more and more. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I get it. He's the most. You'd have to say. Would you say he's the most over guy in AEW right now?
I mean, nobody's over, but I guess
No, you know what I mean.
In the sense
right,
of in the sense of he's had the least amount of damage done to him, I guess.
Yeah.
Kept
That's
him
true.
pretty strong, I guess. Pretty strong. He's not undefeated, but he's definitely, you know, felt like he's probably the favorite in any contest that you could put out there, right?
Oh, for sure. He's being primed, that's for sure. I just didn't understand why he was tag team partners with Brody.
Because we just need randomness.
I hate that, dude. I can't stand that.
Brody
shit,
has
man.
nobody else to partner with. One of his partners is a girl and the other partner's hurt.
Yeah, and he was out partying at WrestleMania just quietly.
Hey.
I'm talking about Buddy.
Hey, you don't need a foot to party.
That's true. He was walking fine from what I saw.
Hey. Well, I don't know if Brody King's going to be walking fine because he takes the C4 spike from Josh Alexander and another L. And then Paige comes out and the rest of the Callis family comes out and there's a schmaz and whatever. I don't really recall what happened here and I don't care.
I'm sick of these, dude. I'm too many, man. On one show. We already had one at the start of the show. Now we're getting another one. Why?
It's been a while, so we can do another one.
Technically, we had 3 actually in the show. If you include the Rock and Roll Express too.
Well, luckily, we're not going to have one more because our main event is Jamie Hayter versus Chris Statlander.
Ah. Yeah. Why are they continuously doing this every week? You know, this is becoming a trend. Especially with Statlander, man. Main eventing shows every week, bro. Like, what's happening here, man? Look, man, I'll be honest with you. I couldn't just keep my eyes on this match properly. I know, you know, apparently it was a good match, but Statlander got the win again, right? So.
Nope.
Oh, no, it was a freaking thing. You're right. You're right. See, I wasn't paying attention to this match, though, Vet. You're right. Yeah, Dee paid attention to it. She was just saying.
Yep. Jamie Hayter ends up getting the win. And then at the end, Mercedes Money comes out and dances. And we'll see who's going to, who's going to win the Owen.
Labrat is making me laugh because he goes, for some reason, this is where my TV shut off. I don't blame you, dude. But Hayter's not going to win. again against Money. But I feel like they screwed this all up with the Athena match last week and Mercedes. They could have done a lot better with the booking. But whatever, we're going to have this. This was going to happen only for Monet to win. And then we move to the finals, which will be Tony Storm and Monet, right? That's where we're going, I guess.
No, wait. No, this is the finals.
What? Wait, this was the finals?
Hater and Monet is the finals.
Yeah, that's what. Oh, that's no shit. That's the finals?
Yeah, so the winner will face
sucks.
Tony Storm at All In.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I mean. Yeah. Sorry.
But that's not the finals.
Right, I fucked up there. I meant the match that we're going to is Monet against Tony Storm, which is great. But
winner
the bad
take
thing
all.
And you know who's going to win it. That's the problem.
That's right.
Monet
29 belts Monet.
Fuck this.
Give her all the belts.
I don't care. Look, it'll be funny. I wouldn't mind just seeing it initially. But who's going to be the one that's going to beat her in the end, man? Like, is it going to be Athena, you think? Possibly.
Maybe.
Or does Charlotte Flair come in eventually into AEW? Hey, I think Bayley, actually, is going to leave WWE.
Think Bayley's fed up?
Did you listen to a podcast with Van Fleet by any chance this past week?
Nope, but I'm pretty sure that I know what you're talking about, where she says she's done everything she can and everybody likes her and she's still just stuck in this spot.
Dude, she was pretty honest, it seems like. I mean, to me, I didn't take that as like she was trying to work anyone. I felt like that's exactly how she felt. So, and she also admitted that she's got 1.5 years left on her contract.
Well, we'll see what she does with that 1.5 years and we'll see what they do. But I say you go with the CEO until you have a better idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you have to, absolutely, for sure, man.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like how they're just building her up to be too much of, like, she's unbeatable. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not that she's unbeatable. It's just that she's not losing. There's a difference. There's a difference between somebody that's able to win and keep winning and somebody that they're clearly having you steamroll everybody. You know, like you go back to the Goldberg streak.
Right, she's not that. She's definitely
you were thinking, well, how could this guy ever lose to anybody, right? You're not looking at Mercedes like how could she ever lose? It's just when is she going to lose? So the problem is on the other side, whoever that person is, I don't believe in any of them either. So you got to make me believe in somebody. Like, who is that going to be? Is that going to be Megan Bain? But you already beat her once. Is that going to be, is it going to be Athena coming back for a rematch? Is it going to be, who's it going to be? Because everybody else has sort of already had their time in the sun with mixed results, right? Like they put belts on Statlander. She was the one that beat Jade Cargill finally, but that didn't end up good, right? Nobody really remembers that run as being positive or entertaining or interesting.
Spot on.
So, there's people that have potential, but they're not being like where they're at now. They're not ready to be put in the spotlight where, oh, you're the one that's going to beat Mercedes. No, none of these people are like that. So you really only have a couple options now, and you have to strengthen those options before the inevitable thing. That's why I think in wrestling, if you've got something going, it's more important to wait until you know for sure what you want to do rather than, oh, well, we got to beat this person now because whatever. It just, I see that too much, I see it too much. So let's hope they do something good.
Well, Josh was asking who would you have beating Mercedes. Well, you pretty much just answered that question.
Yeah, nobody.
He doesn't
nobody
believe
right now.
Nobody. Right.
So, but if it was going to be somebody, I would definitely go with Athena of all the people that are available to me currently. So I would have to get her on TV more, get her on her roll, like get her going and, make people believe that this is the person to do it. But we're not quite there yet.
That's that.
Okay. It's time for Collision Playoff Palooza, whatever that means.
What? Playoff Palooza. Sounds a bit.
That's what it
anyway,
said on the
know.
monitors screens.
Stupid. Why? Because the NBA playoffs are crying out loud. But anyway, yeah, Palooza. Are they trying to do the WrestlePalooza, ECW WrestlePalooza? Do you remember that back in the day?
Well, isn't everything based off Lollapalooza? Like, when was
Something
anybody
I
saying
guess.
Palooza before that?
True. No one really. Yeah, you're probably right. It probably did come from that. And anyway, only ECW was the only wrestling fed, as far as I remember, that named the show after a Palooza, right? So, yeah, why not?
Palooza. All right. Well, anyway.
That's stupid.
All right. Well, it's Swervapalooza to start the show. Okay. And of course, before he could get anything going, he's interrupted by the Young Bucks. They inform him that he had a match later tonight, but that's now been moved up to now. So we get Swerve versus Blake Christian Palooza.
That's a good one. Yuck. Why again this guy? What's going on with this with Christensen, man? Why are they? Oh my God, man!
Don't forget Shoddy Lee.
Oh God! Again, he came out of nowhere in this fucking match. Then again, we had a whole schmoz again, like same old shit. It felt like I was watching Dynamite. No shit. Again, for a split second.
Yeah. So obviously Swerve wins, and then the Bucks attack right after. Then they're about to give him the Meltzer driver. And they have plenty of time to do it, but Kenny's music starts, so they all just stop everything they're doing rather than him just jump off the rope and do the move. He jumps off the rope and hits the ground and doesn't do any move.
Stupid.
Yeah,
dumb.
The music freezes you. I think it paralyzes you. You're so it's like you're afraid. You know.
I hate it. And Swerve and freaking Kenny shake hands in the end. Like suddenly they're Tango and Cash. They're gonna go after the big bad booty daddies called the Young Bucks. Mm-hmm. That's where we're going, right? We're gonna have a tag match, I guess, between these four.
Well, wait a minute. Not only that, we already have a match scheduled for Dynamite before they even move off this segment,
right.
Because Tony Khan has informed Tony Schiavone that there's an all-star 8-man booked for Wednesday. All-star 8-man.
Do I have to watch that?
Yes.
Damn.
Especially if it's the main event, you have to watch it.
Oh, it will be. It will be the main event, as a matter of fact. Come on, time out, Tony. No more of these friggin' 8-man, 10-man, 20-man. Just stop, please, man. And what about Okada, bro? Do you feel like Okada's? I know he's still a champ and whatnot, but he's getting so wasted right now, dude. I feel. Is he not? Tell me if I'm wrong. Like, yeah, I know, and I'm sure he's happy. He's probably actually happy not doing shit and still getting paid mint for it. So yeah, you're probably right.
Yep.
I just don't like it though.
If that's what they want to do,
fair enough.
That's what they want to do.
Just hurry up and Jay get better, man. We need Jay White, for crying out loud.
So, you get a promo for Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Good wrestling promo. Nothing really to talk about. Now we get our promised match of Timeless Tony Storm versus Queen Aminata. I don't know why. Watching Queen Aminata come out to the ring, I was like, for some reason I want to listen to Tyrone by Erykah Badu. I can't imagine what that's about. So anyway, I paused it and did. I put it on YouTube.
Wait, whoa. You actually paused it? And
yeah, I paused. I was like, yeah, let me put on. Yeah, I want to make sure I get the studio version. I didn't want to listen to the live version. I wanted to listen to the studio, the original.
Oh, so I had to look. Shit, you're a character, man.
Yeah.
That you just made my night by saying that, dude. That's awesome. Did you get back to the match though?
Yes, I did. I got back to the match. Good match. People were into it. Tony's great. Tony's great. Match. Queen Aminata's good enough. She's learning still. So, but this is the best way to learn. The best way to learn is to be in there with the people that she's been in there. She's been in there with Serena. She's been in there with Tony a couple times each, you know, like those are the people you got to keep working with to get better.
Absolutely.
And it's not really important whether she wins or loses at this point. It's important that she's getting that experience so that one of the hardest things to learn in the wrestling business, as far as like being a performer and as far as your matches, not only your matches, but also your character or your overall, especially these people who they're like, each one of these people is like an entrepreneur, right? Because they have this job on AEW, right, but if they work other places, they have to keep that character going. They have to sell merch for themselves. They have to be their own business. So one of the things that is really challenging, but it's important, it's probably the most important, if you have to be the type of character that whether you win or lose, because that's usually out of your control, you're not going to be able to choose how you get booked.
Right.
But no matter whether it is, you have to figure out how to be the kind of person, like as a wrestling personality, your character, however you want to describe it, where taking a loss does not hurt you. And you can even be so good that taking a loss can get you more over if you know how to do it. Now that's definitely circumstantial. It definitely requires, certain stars to line up or whatever to do that. But at least you have to be the kind of character that taking a loss will not hurt you. So that's my advice to any up and coming young wrestlers, because when they come up with gimmicks, everybody wants to have a cool gimmick. I remember, here's a short story, right?
Please, I love this. Yeah, go for it.
So when Ryback or Vanilla Gorilla Ryan Reeves, whatever, he was an OVW, but he was just, the last thing we saw him as was, Skip whatever was the name was. Skip Sheffield. Yep. What'd it do,
Yeah.
So he wants to come up with this idea of the Ryback character, right? And he's like describing it as like a combination of like the Terminator and, I don't know, a gorilla. So,
okay.
So it's like, so he's basically saying like, he's going to be like an unstoppable machine that can't be, like beaten or whatever. And it's like, okay, that's great for you. What about everybody else?
Everyone else, right.
Yeah, like,
exactly.
I'm sure everybody wants to be an unbeatable killing machine. That's everybody's wish. We all want to be that. Nobody wants to lose. So what is that supposed to do for everybody else, bro? And on top of that, you are going to lose. So what's it going to look like when the unbeatable killing machine loses? You're going to be you're going to look stupid. It's going to destroy whatever character that you built up. So don't do things like that. But work on how you can take a loss and it doesn't hurt you and it can even help you. That's my advice.
Right. What did you say to that by any chance? Did he react to that?
Oh, I didn't say that to him because...
Oh, but that's what you're thinking. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I found out after the fact because I wasn't there when he came up with the gimmick per se, but I was there watching him try it out for the first time, like with his little RVD airbrush tights and like all that,
Was he doing the feed me more bullshit?
I know he even had a singlet that had like an airbrushed T800 skull on it. Like he really was into that Terminator idea. He definitely was. Yeah.
Thank God. He's a weird cat, dude. Not that I know him personally. You've obviously had experience with him, but is he a weird guy personally to you?
Personally, with and around me, no, but yes.
Okay.
But he's nice. He's
sense.
like nice. It's not that he's not a nice guy. He's definitely a little off, but
Yeah.
I never saw that. Like everything was fine with me and him as far as that goes. But I heard from other people that were around him a lot who would talk to me about it.
Interesting. You would have so many stories really deep down, but I know you haven't, said everything, but you could really write a book about, I know we've had this talk before years ago now, like you could probably write a book about a lot of shit, dude, like with the experience that you've even had in pro wrestling, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no one's going to buy that book, so I'll just do it here.
You'd be surprised. But anyway.
Tony wins with the Storm Zero, and that's it. Now we have Lexi with the J&J team, which we haven't seen in forever. Certainly not all together.
Jarrett's back.
Yep. And they all have a problem with Sanjay now. So they basically cut a promo, like Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett cut a promo on Sanjay, and Jay Lethal says, I'm the guy that has the ideas now. Like, we're going to listen to my ideas, and they all just leave him there. And then, Sanjay asks, Satnam is like, really, you too? And he's like, hey, sorry, bro, or whatever,
What does this mean going forward now?
It means Jay Lethal's the captain now.
I didn't know that. Oh, well, whatever, man. Cool. I guess they're back. One thing I did notice, did Jay Lethal actually color his beard this time, it seems?
Perhaps.
He did, because the last time I saw him on Ring of Honor, he let himself go, bro, in every sense. His beard was white. It was getting white. He was getting more chunkier. Now that he's back probably on the main roster for a little bit, I guess we're going to see him actually be, in shape again.
Hey, all right. I mean, why not?
You, Jay. Why not? Hopefully they do something. And, of course, Jeff Jarrett, he's great. We all know that.
Yeah. Haha. You can't have Jeff Jarrett looking younger than you. So color that beard in.
Isn't that weird, though, dude?
Well, here's something else that's not weird. It's the Platinum Max Caster Open Challenge.
Ugh.
And he definitely tries harder than ever to get the Let's Go Max, you're the best wrestler alive chant going. And it probably is pretty successful, but he doesn't think so. And then his opponent is Hologram returning.
Yeah. Hologram. Ridiculous, dude. I can't stand Hologram. I'm sorry. I prefer freaking Caster over Hologram.
Well, too bad, because he gets a portal bomb and your winner still undefeated. What was it, 23-0?
23-0, dude. Can you believe that?
Yep, I believe it.
Hologram.
I mean, no one can get a hold of him. He's a hologram. He's not there. They keep trying to grab him. It just doesn't work.
So what happens if he wins a championship? Would he be able to hold it and shit?
Maybe they can make a digital championship.
I see. I like that. That's a great idea. See, if that was smart, they would actually do that. I'll play along with it, but they won't do that anyway. Mm-hmm. See, it's little things like that. Great idea, man. I like it.
It's right there for you. So even Master P acknowledged that Moxley is Renee's husband, which I thought was funny. And he also, for the record, does not believe that Moxley is bout it.
Yeah. And rowdy. Didn't K-Dog used to say that too? You bowdy.
Yes, I wonder why.
I know. Obviously, it's Master P. Make him say, nah.
All right, next is Crew with the Koopa jackets.
Again.
Importantly,
suddenly,
the return of the Koopa jackets.
Was this like every second week deal, Vet?
Yeah. Well, maybe again, you said that people are probably watching this show. And so they probably heard the feedback of how we did not like that they were not wearing the jackets. So they probably got the jacket. These were new. They were different colored. So it wasn't the same old ones either.
Yeah. You know what else they've been listening to? Do you remember I said, if you're going to have these type of tag matches, at least do them as a tornado tag? So that way there's an excuse for no rules. Well, that's what we got. We've got a tornado tag as well.
Yes. Now, unfortunately, and again, we're talking about Top Flight versus Crew.
Right. Yep.
Unfortunately for maybe some of you, even though it probably wasn't going to matter because I wasn't going to break this down, but an almost immediate use of kendo sticks means that I disavow this completely. And I have no idea what happened the rest of the match. So Jimmy, you'll have to fill the people in.
Do I really have to explain this? Oh, well, before I do, Cold Blooded says, when I saw those jackets, I was pulled back into the show.
Pulled back in as if through a warp pipe. Meow, meow, meow.
Well, what do we got? I'll break it down a little bit. I mean, there was all sorts of action going on from in the ring, on the floor, of course. I'll just say the end sort of bit of the match, but basically, Rush picks up Darius, and what was I?
You said Rush.
Yeah,
Wrong Rush.
I didn't mean to say that. Rush. Sorry, it's in Leo Rush, not friggin' Rush. See, look what happens now when I see Rush. But anyway, he covers Darius, but he kicks out at 2. Gray gets involved, but it's sent to the floor from the apron as Action takes out Dante and then comes off the top with a big frog splash. And, of course, Leo Rush comes off the top with a big 450 and covers the Darius to get the pin and the win. So winners by pinfall, CRU, the crew.
Oh, so that's what happened.
That's what happened.
Next time, boys, don't use a kendo stick if you want me to watch. I mean, if they watch it, maybe they don't watch the show, because if they did, they would have known that. So,
well, it was a tornado tag, to be fair. So
I don't care.
You know what I mean? So technically,
this isn't Japanese high school. There's no kendo classes anywhere around here. There's no reason for these to be here.
Japanese high school. That's a great point. Actually, very great point.
Act like you just walk into the store and get these things, you know?
You can get all sorts of things apparently in Japan. I'd love to go to Japan, though.
You know what else you used to be able to get in Japan, but now it's only in the United States?
What's that?
Anna J.
That's true. That's a good thing, sort of, right? I mean, just by looks only. But
not that I'm complaining, but where the fuck is, Little Brooks Jensen?
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in forever.
Fuck? Can I actually, let me ask you, dude, was the last time we saw him, was it when he got kidnapped? Or a bit later, a bit after that?
I forget. We'll have to ask Stat Boy about that one.
Yeah, Stat Boy. Zane.
And since we asked him, he's not going to answer it. So
just come on, man. I don't want to Google it. Even if I Googled it,
it doesn't even really matter, does it? I'm glad he's gone.
I'm happy. I'm actually happy he's gone too. But he will be back. Trust me. And I actually feel that he's going to come back very shortly, dude. Doesn't it feel that way?
Yeah, he's definitely going to come back very shortly because his ass is fucking short.
No, but really, don't you feel that he's actually going to be appearing very soon?
Well, you would think he would have to get involved with whatever this Bucks thing is before, but is it going to be blood and guts, or
yes,
is it going to be? Is he going to help them win blood and guts from the outside, or?
That's a good. When he's in blood and guts, usually in June, July.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's around that time, so we'll see.
All right. Well, whenever it is, Anna Jay's here. She has a match with somebody named Taylor Gainey. Terrible name. If you want to make it, kid, you might want to think about something else. Anna hits a quick gory bomb. Then they hit Penelope's music. She's a super bad girl. She comes out. They have a little scuffle. And then Penelope gets the best of the scuffle, and she's like choking. She's choking Anna Jay, choking. And I'm like, this is kind of hot. And then Megan Bain comes out with her full entrance, just slowly, with the headdress, the cape, the music, the slow walking, and Penelope's like really just choking. And I would think that Anna Jay would have died for how long she had to been choked for this, for her to make this slow ass entrance. I would think Anna Jay would have probably passed away from asphyxiation, but apparently she survived.
Death by rope and choke.
Yeah. Penelope got so bored she moved over to the rope and started choking her on the rope instead.
It's so fucking it's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah. And then Megan finally gets in the ring, hits the Fates Descent. If you notice now, the way she hits the Fates Descent, it's like she takes a knee so that she ends up in like the superhero pose, as opposed to, remember when she used to do it and she used to fall backwards and hit the mat before they did?
Yeah, that was weird, dude. That was so weird. But at least someone must have pointed it out, and it works, and it looks a lot better now for her, especially going into the pose. So that's cool. She's learning, Vet. She's learning. But I wonder how much she's going to learn from Joey Janela, if you know what I mean. God, man. I saw pictures actually posted on
She's going to learn what it's like to be disappointed in the bedroom. That's what.
But he can't. I mean, I don't want to talk about it. It just pisses me off thinking about it. Let's not talk about it. Yeah, he's disappointing in the bedroom. We'll stick with that one.
Yeah. We get a little package for Money and Hater, just a little bit of package, like Joey Janela. And then we get Dralistico versus Bandito.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Ring of Honor champion, by the way. Ring of Honor champion.
That's right. I
Bandito.
forgot about that. And wait, these two are not. No. That's Gravity. That's brothers with Bandito.
Mhm.
Jalistico is brothers with Rush, right? I believe.
Yep. And Dragon
Good
Lee.
match. And Dragon Lee, of course. I mean, it was cool. It was a typical.
Yeah, this
sort of
match
lucha.
it was good in a sense because they actually were working a little bit rather than just doing spots nonstop. They were actually taking their time, but they took a little too much time because this shit was long. So I don't know if they were told they had to like add a little extra time to it or if that was always supposed to be this long, but for whatever reason, it took a while. And there was a spot where Jalisco was on the apron with Bandito and he did a Hurricane Rana and Bandito took a bump on the floor, but it looked like Jalisco got hurt because the doctor was checking on him.
Sure.
So it's weird if you hurt a guy doing a move to him, you know, like it just goes to show you that everything that you do in that ring is dangerous. So you really want to make it count. But apparently he was okay. You know, I guess maybe he just was a little bit, maybe he was worried that he was hurt and didn't end up being that hurt.
The ref did check on both of them, but then Doc Sampson, the AEW doctor, did go to Jalisco mainly to check on him. So, yeah.
But eventually, because the match went on a while after that, eventually Bandito hits the 21 plex. So he's still your Ring of Honor champion and no follow-up here.
Yeah, luckily. Oh, thank God. I mean, what would there be? But then again, who knows? It's AEW.
Well, it's odd because you have LFI, but he came out by himself. No real support. Now, after this match, we get the Tree Branches cutting a promo. They're basically going to call out the Gates of Agony, who just came back onto the map after falling the hell off of it for however long. So now we're going to see if they can make Chris Jericho less disappointed in them by cracking some skulls.
So now, all that time they were talking shit with the Hurt Business was all for nothing.
Yes. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. But bullshit.
They're working their way back to the Hurt Business. They lost, so now they have to go to the back of the line and work their way back, you know?
I know, but they still were talking a bit of shit even after they lost. But anyway, whatever. It is what it is.
So here's AR Fox versus Roosh. So Roosh is here. He just didn't care about coming out for his brother's match. And that's fine, I guess.
This match didn't go that long either.
Yeah, no, this match was much shorter because it's Roosh and he's like, I don't get paid by the hour.
I get paid by the rush. I'm rushing.
Yeah, he wins. Thanks for coming, AR Fox. Here's something you don't normally see. Well, I'm not going to say we never seen it, but I don't think we really see it. Trent trying to be serious. And even more so, Rocky Romero trying to be serious.
Yeah, that was weird to me. But actually, it is weird. Both of them are weird. But what's going on here, man? So now Roppongi serious? Is that what's going on? They're going to be all serious now?
They're going to get so serious that they decide to jump the Outrunners.
Oh, that's serious, man. That's serious shit.
Which, by the way, what happened to the Outrunners?
I have no clue, man. And
nobody loves them anymore?
I hope they got no heat, man. I swear to God, because that's bullshit. They even changed their theme song on them, dude. Which sucks too. For me, it's worse than their current one. Than their last one. Their last one was a banger. This one just sucks compared to that. But anyway, I just hope they don't destroy him completely, and it feels like something's up with them.
A little proto hang person package because they're the other side of the Owen finals. Skipping ahead. Yeah. All right, main event time. Yes. FTR versus Paragon. They're the Paragon now. It's no more of this undisputed whatever. That's old news. We're all Paragon all the time. And cool. It's a tag team match. Straight up.
It's
not an 8-man, not a 6-man.
Just a tag.
Not a tornado.
Still. It's Strong and O'Reilly and not a tornado. You're right. Against the Daxon, Cash Cashton, and Daxon.
Hollywood Axe the Axe Axon.
Hollywood, that's it.
I had a question right off the bat.
Oh, God. please.
Why do Kyle O'Reilly's kick pads have laces on them?
I never thought of that, but that's a good question. Why do you need laces on?
And why are they on the back? Like Claudio's boots.
Oh, you know what, dude? That could be a compression thing, actually.
What?
Yeah, okay, let me explain this. So now soccer players particularly are cutting holes at the back of their socks, right? For example. Now, a lot of people say it's bullshit. Some people swear by it. So apparently it's good for compression on your calves. So apparently it's less stress on your calves. Don't ask, I'm not a doctor, I don't know how it works. But that could be the reason why it's like that, possibly.
What?
I'm not a doctor. I saw a trend going on in sports. I looked it up, and something to do with compression. Look it up.
No.
I'm serious.
I'm not looking that up. First of all, what does what you just said, have to do with wrestling kick pads?
Because the laces are at the back, right? You said. Is his calf exposed?
No.
A little bit? It's not, is it? Okay, with him, then that's one thing.
Soccer players don't have boots. Soccer players wear shoes.
No. They wear boots, but they cut the socks at the back.
So?
And it's weird. So they cut like holes all up and down the socks, literally. So if they're wearing high socks,
but what I'm saying is if you don't have look, for this to be a comparison.
No, because you're saying boots. I get you. I totally understand what you're saying.
Well, Claudio wears boots, right? That go up to the knee.
But
now he has laces on the back of the boots.
Right, which you can open.
How is that compression? I don't get that. But a kick pad is pull on. It's like a sock. Too. But right. You're not he didn't cut a hole in the kick pad. He has laces on the kick pad, which you don't need. That's like wearing tights with a belt, like AJ Styles. It makes no sense. It's just there for looks. It's like stylistically, but it doesn't actually have function. So you have laces in the back of kick pads, but the kick pads are pull on.
Yeah, but it could be exposed underneath it. Like, it would be, because he'd be wearing like runners or whatever, not runners, like just normal sneakers, right? That's what you do when they usually wear the kick pads, right?
Well, he wears shoes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He doesn't even wear wrestling boots. He wears shoes, and then he pulls the kick pads over his ankle, so it's like
a boot, like a wannabe boot.
But yeah, it looks like a boot, but it's not. But he has laces on him, but they're on the back.
Well, this is what Liz says. Maybe this helps. He's diabetic, and I know that some need compression items on their legs to help with circulation. That's it. That's exactly what it would be. Circulation reasons. That makes sense to me. That could be the reason that it was kind of like that. You got to look into it, Vet, man. It's a new sort of trend. But I know he doesn't have holes cut out, but he would be exposed underneath because he's wearing normal sneakers. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's why in that sense, it might make sense. Look into it more deeply. You understand. It's a new trend, man.
Well, I don't know what's going on, but it's bullshit.
But what you said make total sense, though.
Anyways, the match itself, let's say, they actually, for FTR and how much I don't like them, this is probably one of the best matches they had. The only match that would have been better than this was that epic, not counting that epic match they had with Juice and Switchblade a long time ago that was like an hour. Other than that, this is probably the best match that they've had in a while. And they actually...
And the Briscoes, too. You didn't like that?
I didn't like those as much, to be honest.
Too hardcore?
It was fine. It was fine.
Okay.
But even though they actually built to a hot tag in this match, because they really kept Roddy off the apron, and they really kept Kyle fighting the whole time, but they finally made a hot tag. But then right when they made the hot tag, right before that, Axon still bumped right before he made the hot tag. Like you ruined all that work you did by taking that bump, even though it was just I'll kick you off, and he kind of rolls backwards and takes a bump and rolls backwards. But still, you shouldn't have even done that. Why'd you do that at all? You just have him tag, have him escape something and tag, have him go for the backdrop, have him flip over and tag, go through the legs, tag. Don't take a bump. You know, the bumps are for Roddy Strong when he comes in, and he's supposed to give you, 56 backbreakers in a row, but you didn't even do that. As soon as Roddy comes in, you cut off his comeback, and then you use the ropes to try to pin him. So like 30 seconds into Roderick Strong's comeback, Axe is double legging him and going for a pin, and he puts his feet on the ropes. And what do you think happens?
Yeah. I know, it's stupid, dude.
Okay, so he doesn't know what happens. So what happens is he kicked out, and the ref never even saw his feet on the ropes. So what's the point? If you're going to cheat, why did you get caught? Okay, if you're going to cheat, you have to get caught by the ref. Don't cheat and then just have the guy kick out. What's the point of that?
But if the ref is just I don't want to say a dummy, but like, I mean, whose fault is this really though? Is it the refs or is it their fault? Like really, it's the
Axe's
ref
fault.
You think so?
Yes, because when I'm doing a match and I'm cheating, I tell the ref to see it.
Okay, that's a fair point.
When I would roll up a guy and grab his trunks, I'd be like, see the trunks. I just say it because he's right there counting. So I just say it, see the trunks. And then he looks at the trunks. He's like, hey, you got his trunks. If you don't say it, it's on you. The ref should already know that you're doing it because, of course, he could see it. He's just not seeing it on purpose. But why have him kick out of it? What's the point? Yeah. And also, why are you cutting off a guy in his comeback, you fat idiot?
You fat idiot.
We've been waiting for 15 minutes for Kyle O'Reilly to tag Roderick Strong, and he does 2 moves, and then you cut him off. What? These guys are the best tag team, right? This is what I keep hearing. These guys don't know shit. They don't know fucking shit. I've been telling you guys this, and one day you're going to believe me if you don't already, but these guys don't know fucking shit. Jim Cornette, you ought to be disappointed in them. Don't overlook this. Call them out on it. Okay? I know you're not going to watch it because it's Collision, and you think Collision doesn't matter, so you're not going to watch it. But if you did, you see your boys do a lot of dumb shit, Jim. Okay? Anyways, eventually, this bullshit comes to an end because they hit the spike pile driver on Kyle O'Reilly and beat him. So, yay. And then Adam Cole runs out, which Stokely was there the whole time, and I don't think he really cheated that much. But if he did, Adam Cole didn't come out there. So he waits till after the match to come out. And now it's 3-on-1 because everybody else has got their ass kicked. So it's Adam Cole just gets in the ring, gets cornered immediately, and he needs Daniel Garcia to come in and save him with a crowbar. And then Daniel Garcia says some promo about how he's going to make everybody pay or whatever. So
and then he chases off FTR.
Yeah, great.
Which is even more dumb. But yeah, I mean, this match kind of drained me a little bit. It was a good match, though. Don't get me wrong, but it was long. But the finish, and I want to say the finish, I'm talking about the schmoz after the finish. It makes it, I know FTR now are heels, and I guess they're chicken shit heels in some ways. But really, come on, man. You're going to run from Garcia. I didn't even like the fact that they're feuding with Garcia still.
We had a crowbar.
And, yeah, okay, cool. A crowbar. Wow. I mean, come on. Doesn't fucking, what's his name, have a piece? I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. But, well, he didn't have it with him.
Well. But anyway, the point
That's
is,
what I would do. If I was Cashin, I would pin a guy and I'd hold the gun to his head and I'd tell the ref, see the gun.
Actually, that'd be good. I love that. But, you know.
Like, don't kick out. Don't kick out. See the gun.
Or else.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. They should actually run with that shit for a laugh. But I just, like, how much legs has this thing got right now, dude? There's too many heels already. Even in the tag division, I mean, they're not going to go after the Bucks, obviously. You know what I mean? For example. Like,
I don't know how many legs it has. I mean, they worked on Kyle O'Reilly's leg the whole match, so they could only have 5 tops.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, how far can we go with this right now, you think? Do they become tag champs eventually? Heck, isn't the Hurt Syndicate pretty much heels, in your opinion?
They ain't going to work. Hurt Syndicate.
Well, that's what. That's what I mean. So, what's the end game with these guys? What's the whole? Like, they're just going to be feuding with these guys?
Well, I mean, we already discussed. First of all, I'm gonna say that once again you're talking about what's the end game, which
Right,
like
I
why
know,
are we
who
even
cares?
trying to
I
look
know,
ahead?
I know. I'm an idiot, bro. I don't
And
even
you've
know why
never
I'm trying.
you've never
Right.
once in your life ever, Jimmy, you've never liked the answer to where we're going with it anyway. So why even ask?
I know.
You hate
I
everything,
know.
so it doesn't matter.
I don't hate everything. Come on.
Well,
But
you
you're
end up
right,
hating
you're
it.
right. Yeah, you're right. I don't
Yeah,
even know
so
why I'm asking.
Even
You're
if I gave
spot
you
on.
an answer, it's like, well, they're going to go with the Hurt Business, and you'd probably say, I don't want to see the Hurt Business work with these idiots, right? Isn't that what you'd
Well,
say?
technically, I don't. I mean, why would I?
See?
I mean, sorry, Prof.
No, but what they're
No
probably
offense.
going to do, like we already talked about, is they're probably going to find some, fakakta way to get Edge and Christian together.
Oh,
so
no,
they can
we're waiting for that.
to
That's definitely happening.
so they could face FTR. Like,
And we
but-
said this already. That is
yeah,
the
but
end
it's
game. We
not
said
it's
this
not
already.
going to make sense. No, nothing they do is going to make. It's not going to be believable that Edge would partner up with Christian. It just wouldn't. So
That's what
however
I'm
they
interested
do
to
that, it's
see.
going to end up sucking anyway. And then you're
That's
going to have to
another
watch
thing.
the match. And you're going to have to
Right.
watch two tag teams that think they know anything about tag team wrestling go out there and try to put on a main event level match on something, and then you'll have to watch them fuck that all up.
Damn. Especially the Edge shit and the Christian thing. I can't wait to see how they're going to get to that. But then again, they'll probably end up doing really nothing. Edge just does something with Christian out of nowhere. Just because, like, I don't know, maybe saves him. But for no real reason, because he cares. He's still his friend. He's still his brother. You get my drift. It's probably going to be along those lines. It's going to be the obvious, but whatever. Who cares? The point is, though, I think we've got our belts back.
Lame.
Well, come on. We do. An hour and 32 minutes? We've got to be speed champions this week.
Yeah, this week maybe. Yeah. No, I was saying lame in reference to anything that FTR is about to do. But yes, we are the speed champions. Unfortunately, we used to get it done even quicker, and we had Rampage too. So we're still trying to work our way back.
We're trying, but I mean, there's nothing else.
We're at the back of the line, like the learning tree.
Come on. We've done a lot better this time compared to the last few weeks. But is there anything else really we need to touch on, man? I almost feel guilty every time. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but I just do.
Nah,
There's
I don't
really
think
nothing
so.
else to talk about.
I mean, everybody else is talking about everything else that we could talk about. I don't think
You're
there's
right.
anything I could add to the kind of shit that everybody else has been saying. I mean, we still did talk about the Rocket Triple H. We did talk about, some of that stuff at the top of the show. So if you missed it, go back and check that part out. If you're interested in that, you want to hear us talking about, paying our respects to Steve McMichael. If you want to hear us talk about what's going on in the news today, please run it back and check out the beginning of the Wreckage, either here on Channel Attitude or back on YouTube if it's still up. Maybe PWC Network can cover you. Who knows? Yep, I think we're done for today, Jimmy.
Well, in saying that, Vet, tell them what you're doing, what you're up to, and where they can find you.
At Opinion Haver on all your favorite social media platforms. You can find me every Monday night, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, for the Impact Attack with Brandon. As we record this now, Rebellion is going to be on tonight, and I will not be watching that shit live. You can bet I'm not going to watch that shit live, but Brandon's going to be doing a watch along. So if you want to hang out with him, definitely check out the HMG YouTube and do a watch along of Rebellion with Brandon. And then tune in on Monday to watch us cover Rebellion and Impact on the Impact Attack. Then on Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, you must check out Next Level Wrestling Review with myself and Big Ray Hernandez, talking about all the NXT action that's fit to print. And we will be hopefully looking at such people as Julia and Stephanie. We like to look at them. So this is the place to hear us talking about looking at them. And if you want to check out some other stuff, what does Vet think he knows so much about tag team wrestling that he's going to tell FTR how they screwed up their match? Well, that's because I'm a Rip Rogers guy, and you can be a Rip Rogers guy too. and ask him, Rip, how did Vet get to be so damn smart? And he may even just answer you. But that's usually every Friday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Ask Rip a question, and he might answer it. It's crazy, but it's always entertaining. And if they're not at their concrete time, then you'll just have to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can see them whenever they're on. Speaking of whenever they're on, whenever Timmy Baltimore is on, I like to watch a new episode of Limpin' Ain't Easy. This episode, this past week, Tommy Dreamer sits down with Timmy. There's a live in-person version. Well, not live, but in person for sure. Well, it was live at the time. Well, it wasn't a hologram. Well, it might have been a hologram. I mean, Tommy Dreamer has the personality of the machine that runs the hologram. And he only gave Timmy about 20 minutes. So
What?
You know, sorry, Timmy, but
Really?
you know, Tommy's not that over with me, but I'll cut him a break this time because I'm trying to promote your show. But go check that out, and then more importantly, go check out some of the other good interviews that Timmy's done, like with Nick Nemeth and other people. You know, go check those out to be thoroughly entertained. And then last but definitely not least, Stevie Richards' show. Wonderful content, big WrestleMania review, big show about is The Rock ruining wrestling right now, which we touched on here today. Listen to Stevie and James go in depth on that kind of subject in the most entertaining manner possible, along with all the usual breakdowns and commentaries. And, you know, Stevie Richards' deadpan sense of humor is so great. He always finds a way to have a positive attitude towards things, which I like. Even when he's being negative, he tries to make a positive thing out of it. And it's really interesting to hear because I'll listen to the Raw and SmackDown review on Russo brand, and Stevie might be more or less quiet or agreeable, but then he has a totally different take when it comes to breaking down stuff for the Stevie Richards show. So he presents, you know, both sides of the argument in a very entertaining and informative way. And I love Stevie's show. He may have the best show out there right now. So give him a look. If you've been ignoring me telling you to give him a look, definitely go give him a look. I know there's a lot of stuff out there that takes up a lot of time, but Stevie's worth it.
Nice. Well put. Well, also check out every Tuesday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern. It is I Like a Raw, your Raw wrestling review show with myself and, of course, Big Ray Hernandez, 10 a.m. Tuesday mornings, and that's Eastern, that is, every week. Go check out last week's show because we had a North Star cast. All of us were on, including yourself, Vet, Jargo, RBV, myself, Big Ray. We all spoke about Raw, which was a great conversation. Hey, considering there was 5 of us, dude, I thought we did pretty well. We weren't cutting off each other. We're actually very good. So that actually impressed me, Vet. I don't know about you, but it impressed me.
Yeah, we brought it in a decent time for 5 people.
Yeah.
And
amazing.
If you missed it, I definitely dropped some live rounds on that one. So go check that out.
And also, of course, check out the Smack Attack. You know, we're meant to be on at 1 p.m. Saturday mornings or Saturday afternoons, I guess, with myself and RBV. But RBV called in sick, man. He was sick this past week. Oh. And the professor came in and we started at 2 p.m., 2:15 p.m. instead. And, of course, every time I put the professor signal up, he comes to my aids when I need him, and he delivered. So go check that out on channelattitude.com, unfortunately, because it's not on HMG anymore. And, of course, this very show, the Wreckage, with myself and the best in the world, the Vet. So every Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on Hammy Media Group's YouTube channel. And that's it. And hey, you can also follow me on Twitter. I'm worried, though, Vet. I checked out my Twitter, and it says I'm following no one. But everyone's following me. Yeah, what's up with that? I look like an asshole now.
It's not you, it's Twitter.
Yeah, but why would they do that, man?
I don't know, but there was another weird thing going on. Like, I went to my notifications section, you know, the little bell, you know, to let you know if you've been tagged or whatever. I go to that, and it's like dead empty. Like, no, I'm sure there's something that happened. So it's just been screwy these past few days and stuff like that. So hopefully it'll get sorted out soon.
That's weird, dude. Because it says I've got all my followers, but I follow nobody. But yeah, whatever. Get that shit fixed, Elon, for crying out loud. So yeah, you can follow me there. But most importantly, like and subscribe right here at Media Group's YouTube channel. And of course, channelattitude.com with $5 only to get the realest, but the best talk in all of pro wrestling. And of course, homeboy, I knew it, by the way. You're always Iron Patriot, just quietly. And also, HMGmedia.podbean.com for all our affiliate shows, including the Wednesday Locker Room, the Pro Wrestling Reflection, Spotlight, whatever you want, it's all there. And we're done. So in saying that, I am Jimmy T. That is the best in the world. And my co-host, Jamie the Vet Williams. And you've been listening and watching the
Wreckage.
And till next time, peace out and thank you to everyone that's joined us in the chat. We love you all and we'll see you soon. Peace.